Greetings to you, viewers. A very, very good evening to you all. Thank you very much for joining us this evening here on Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. It's a privilege to be on with you this evening. Thank you so much for joining. I just wanted to let you know that you're welcome to this awareness, empowerment, celebratory, and uplifting chat show happening every last 2 Sundays of the month. Yeah, and at 7 p.m. UK time. Now, if you would like to come on this program, you're more than welcome to contact me on Floris Lyman at Gmail, Floris Lyman at gmail.com. Thank you so much. Again, I want to introduce myself. I've been advised to be in a habit of introducing myself properly, so I really need to learn this now. I am a minister in word and in song. I am a chat show host, as you can see. Also, I am an online and in-person event host. So if you have your events, do not hesitate to contact me to make sure your Zoom events are going on well, smoothly. And I'm also a speaker, and I'm also an author. So again, like I said, for a reasonable token, please do remember to contact me if you would like to use my services, my skills, and my talents. Trust me, you will not regret it. Thank you very much, viewers. Again, talking about being an author, that's my latest book. If you would like to get a copy of this book, please do not hesitate to contact me. Otherwise, you can get it through other means, but remember to contact me for your signed copy of my book. Okay, thank you very much. Viewers, please, whilst we are waiting to start, I would just like you to share this program. Share it. I am on YouTube at Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. I am there on YouTube and also live on here on Facebook. So please do share this. And this topic that we are discussing today is so very important. It is prevalent in our communities. It is happening everywhere. Even where you're supposed to think you should be having safety, it's happening in church, it's happening in our religious settings, it is happening everywhere, and we cannot afford to keep sweeping it under the carpet. We have to talk about it. So I have my guest with me today. As you can see, the topic is how to spot an abusive relationship. How to spot an abusive relationship. This is so important, brothers and sisters. How to spot an abusive relationship. We're looking at the different types of abuse, how to spot them, how to report them, and how to seek for help. You as the victim, right? So I don't know what your experience has been, but you're more than welcome to come on this platform and share. We pray that the Lord will give you boldness, because a lot of women and men are going through this. So we pray that you will be bold enough to deliver many. All right. So today I have my guest with me by the name of Lady Caroline Adebayo. She's a clarity empowerment coach. She's a mentor. Oh, yes. And she's also a counselor. But she does many, many other things. Lady Caroline does many other things. Let me just finish with her introduction. Yes. She's also a writer. She's a teacher. She's a podcaster. She enjoys helping women to overcome rejection, breaking the cycle of failure, unfulfilled dreams to uncover their God-ordained purpose. Her recently published book, Bloom of a Woman, a guide for men to help the women in their lives glow and flourish, is also available on Amazon. So We're going to come to that to see how you can connect and contact Lady Caroline on Instagram. She is on Instagram at Caroline Ekpenion. On Twitter, Caroline Ekpenion at Karek81. And her podcast handle is anchor.fm/Caroline Adebayo. So, viewers, thank you so much for your patience. I'm now going to bring my guest on. Lady Caroline, please say hi to the viewers.
Hello, viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are and where you're watching us from. It's a beautiful day, and I hope this will be worth your while. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, and we also appreciate your comments and questions as well.
Thank you so much, Lady Caroline. Thank you. So, viewers, as you can see, we have our coach here today. She's a very busy woman. I have to, I had booked her a few months ago because our timetable was just so tight. But I'm so happy to have her on here today for us to discuss this topic. So, Lady Caroline, this thing of abuse, we're not wasting time. We're just going straight into it. This thing abuse. We want to know because as we speak, I am sure a lot of our viewers, some people are ignorant of what that word even means. Even though they are going through it, they don't know that's what it means that they are going through abuse. What are the types of abuse that one can experience in a relationship? Over to you.
Thank you, Pastor Flores. Hello, viewers. Once again, it's really a privilege and honor to be here. And as Pastor Florist has said, abuse is not something that you want to discuss. It's a very sensitive topic, but then, you know what, we can't shy away from it because a lot of people are going through it, and there've been a lot of death as well. So it is something we really need to talk about and get to know what it is, so that if you are in that kind of a relationship or a situation, you will know what to do and how to support others if you're not. So when we are talking about abuse, before we even to the types, we want to know what is an abuse. And according to the definition from the British organization, they said that abuse is any incident or pattern of controlling, coercion, threatening behavior, violence or abuse between people that are more than 16 years and above, who are in an intimate relationship, and it could also be between family members. So when we are talking about abuse, we are not just talking about man to woman or woman to man, but it involves or includes family members. So in-laws could abuse their 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 son's wife or their daughter's husband. So in-laws are included. That is why it has to do with family members as well. So that is abuse now. So any incident or pattern of controlling, coercion, or threatening. What do we mean by that? If somebody is controlling you, it controls the way you laugh. There are sometimes you laugh and your partner is like, why are you laughing too much? Or if you're looking at somebody, it suddenly becomes a problem because it feels, oh, you're looking at that person in a certain kind of way, which could result in an argument, or before you know it, it will regenerate to either him slapping you, so that is controlling. Or you could control the way you dress. You want to wear something out and it be like, you can't wear that, you have to go and change it, you can't dress in a certain kind of way. That is controlling as well. So we want to talk about threatening, coercion. So all these are patterns of abuse that leads to violence and can even lead to death. So now, if we are talking about what are the kinds of abuse, because somebody may be like, okay, now I know what abuse is, but what are the different types? So we have the physical abuse, we have the sexual abuse, we have emotional abuse, we have psychological abuse, we have harassment and stalking, financial abuse, and in some cases we have religious abuse as well. I heard Pastor Floris saying that, these things happen in our community, it happens in the church, it is everywhere. So I don't know if I've been able to like give you the different types before we can now begin to like break them down so that we get a better grip of what we are talking about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady Caroline. Surely, as if you are just in my mind. That's where I was going. We need to know the different types of abuse. Surely. So go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Talking about the physical abuse, of course, that is the one that mostly people are common with, because the physical abuse is the type that can be seen. It has to do with hitting you, slapping you, shoving you, pushing you, bringing lighter, sometimes you have the partners using lighter to burn someone. And if we are talking about abuse as well, I want us to understand that abuse is not just a man to a woman, it could be vice versa, it could be a woman to a man as well. So all this, strangling you, choking you, there have been instances where a person is angry or very upset and tries to choke you. So that is the physical abuse. And why do we, the physical abuse is the one that can easily be seen. So once somebody sees you with a black eye or a swollen chin, and your face is looking somehow, it's very easy to spot. That is the one that is very easy to spot. But when we are now talking about the psychological one, that is the one, for me, I always feel that that is the one that is very difficult, because the psychological abuse has to do with your mental health. This person talks down on you, it tells you things like, you're stupid, you're not good enough, or tries to like make fun about your body shape, you're too fat, all those things that like bring you down, say derogatory words against you, just in a way of just trying to make you second guess yourself. You're not allowed to make decisions. It takes over and does all the decisions for you. And this is kind of going on in your mind, because the psychological one is difficult. You can't even tell somebody. And even if you do, the person may not even understand you, because it's not something that is being seen. And sometimes if you say, oh, this is the way this person treated me, they seem not to understand what you're saying, because they feel, oh, it's normal. You know what I mean? So that is the psychological one. The one that messes with your mind the most is the psychological one. Now, there is also the financial abuse, whereby the partner or the husband is the one in charge of the finance. It makes sure that you're so dependent on him. He gives you little money, little or no money. He asks you what you bought, and you're working, and sometimes they go as far as the money you work for goes into their bank account, and the person doesn't get to say it. And sometimes when you look for this money or you ask for money, it's like, oh, I don't have it, or you're asking too much. And it just makes sure that you're dependent on them, that you don't have the finance to be able to do what you want to do. Thank you.
Wow. 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 So, viewers, I hope we are taking note. Financial, emotional, physical. There was one more.
Sexual. We've got the
Sexual.
yes, the sexual abuse. So this has to do with the partner, making you do those things that you don't want to do, like forcefully having sex with you even when you said no, or denying you sex when you want it, or touching you in an inappropriate way, making you feel, there's how it makes your body feel like you're worthless, kind of. So making you watch pornography. You don't want to watch it. It forces you to watch it. It forces you to, have sex with different kind of things that is not really like, you wouldn't do it in normal circumstance.
This is deep. I think as we speak, a lot of us, both men and women, are relating to this right now. I think some of us might be actually reviewing to say, oh, wow, so even when I didn't consent, because, for example, when it comes to the sexual abuse, Lady Caroline, a man feels they've paid your bride price as a woman. Now, you know our backgrounds, where we have come from. A man feels they have paid your bride price, so they should touch you anytime they are ready. And I was reading about this one day, and for me it was an eye opener to say, actually, even though you're married, does not mean you don't go through, sexual and physical, especially the sexual one. So actually, if you say no and you're first against your will. That's, it even now becomes rape, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even as a married woman, if you say no and you're forced, then it becomes a rape. So because having sex or intimate relationship is supposed to be consensual, whereby it's a kind of give and take. So if you say yes and he says yes, that is consent. You've given your consent. But when one partner says no, you know what, honey, I'm not in the mood right now, and he or she is like, we've got to do it, then there is problem. So
Wow. Wow. So I don't even know where to start. I thought we started. So, wow, deliverance is taking place here, deliverance and transformation. Thank you for those making their comments. I'm going to come to read those comments. Lady Caroline, this thing is common, it is prevalent in our communities, and a lot of us are suffering from it. And like you said, not only the women of late, you have men as well going through the struggle of abuse. What are some of the factors? Because, like you mentioned, all those four, they are all intertwined. Because I believe if one is happening in a relationship, I believe the rest are happening because they are
absolutely.
all intertwined. What are some of the causes? Because some people do say, oh, I love you, and they will have abused you. And even when you want to leave or you want to go, you want to seek, and they have a way of, again, just gaining their wings over you. And each time maybe you want to make an exit or go to a safe place, whatever, you find yourself in that same circle, and you think about 1,001 things why you do not want to leave that relationship or just separate yourself for a while and stuff like that. You are hearing all those voices, you are hearing stigma, you are hearing pressure from family, pressure even from your church. Oh, yes. But yes, still, this person is claiming that they love you, but you are enduring this abuse under them in the name of love. First of all, let's talk about what are some of the reasons why would somebody else put somebody through their regime of abuse? Let's start with that first. What are some of the why would somebody, let me say, this person is my partner and I'm enduring abuse, various forms of this relationship abuse. Why is that the case? What are some of the reasons?
Um, Thank you for that question. It's just the first one is the need for power and control. So the major one is power and control. The abuser feels or thinks that if he has or if she has control over you, he is on top. So that bringing you down, subjugating you, makes him feels like he is the king. It rises his ego. It makes him feel, oh, you can't do anything. So that power, that control, that is why we said that abuse is a pattern of control. So that means it's not just want, is this person wanting to constantly control you, constantly make you feel you're worthless. Because the more it does that, the more your self confidence is gone, the more your values are gone as well, the more you cannot even be able to do anything because you don't even have the independence to do it. So that is it. So another thing is just because of our culture, we've got this culture that kind of puts men to be above the women, and because of that, men feels they've got to be in control, and you just have to be submissive to them, especially from our community and our background. So they feel, oh, I've got to be in control. You're just below me. And that makes them, to want to have that control. Then I think another thing could just be the way the person is. Like, we've got the nicest tendency that just want to make themselves feel they are too important, they are better than you don't know anything. So these are some of the things that just make them to do that. And of course, like you said, abuser will
Hmm.
always say, oh, I love you, because before an abuse comes, it's like a cycle, it's like a wheel. So it comes, he's very charming, he's very loving. He tells you, oh, you're the most precious rose in my garden. He buys you flowers, takes you out and everything. Then he now wants to start controlling you. So, and he does that by, talking you down, making you feel like you've done something wrong, even when you haven't done anything wrong, making it look as if, you're the one that have done something wrong. And sometimes you try to like second guess yourself. Oh, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? And you find yourself having like this butterfly in your stomach, like you're walking on eggshell, because you know what is going to happen and you don't want it to happen. You're trying to like, stop it. But at a certain point, when it builds up, there's kind of that explosion where it becomes so upset that he wants to either hit you, or he wants to, slap you or push you into a room, or just want to exact his own power as the man above you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to thank you, Mrs. Cynthia. Thank you, Professor Jane. Thank you, Sister Love. Thank you to all our viewers who are on. Thank you, Sister Beverly. Let me just read some comments. Mr. Prophetess Jane was saying, having intercourse beyond your wish, which you have mentioned. Yes, it's an eye opener, honestly. I know, Professor Jane, you've dealt with abuse at some point in one of your podcasts. Narcissistic role plays a huge part. You mentioned that as well. And ego, which you have confirmed as well. Mama C says, say no to emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse, and do not keep silent. Even as we speak, many people are still going this. Lady Caroline, why do you think we stay in there and endure? Is it because we have some false hope, and or people are looking at the investment that they've made in that relationship, and as a result, they don't just want to live, and many people have lost their lives in the process? Why are we still in there? I'm talking to us viewers. Listen, I was saying to Lady Caroline today, we are here to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So please, if this it does not suit your ears, respect yourself. No abuse is here, but we want to set people free. Our bodies, I'm not here to preach, but hey, there is no way I can do this and not include, other things that I know when it comes to our bodies. The Bible says our bodies are his temple and the Holy Spirit dwell in it. So the same way we are looking after our bodies physically, we have to look after our bodies emotionally. We have to look at after ourselves, our well-being, in every area. So if you are allowing someone to abuse you, or you yourself, you are the offender, we are praying and we are hoping that there will be a turnaround. There has to be a turnaround, because that's not the will of God, that you die or you suffer a mental breakage in that relationship, or you destroy someone's life. Might as well let them go. Lady Caroline, why do we stay in there? Because as we speak, many people are still in there enduring for various reasons.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor. I think just before I said that, say what I want to say, there was this story I read on the first Facebook recently about a lady that was pursuing the husband and a side chick, and unfortunately she lost her life because she had an accident and she died. And for me, that is very sad. And when I read that story, I felt sad, you know and this is what is happening to so many people. People are losing their lives on this issue we are talking about. So it is not a joke. Now, going to your question, why do people stay? There are a lot of reasons why people stay. Because living is not really that simple. It's not really that easy, especially when you've been in a relationship for so long. There are a lot of things, your emotion, children, all kinds of things are attached to it. So it makes it difficult to live. And sometimes living is even dangerous, living is even dangerous for the victim. So the victim can't live. Then why other barriers could be embarrassment, shame, guilt. We're talking about church. In church, we are being told that, as a Christian, you can't divorce, you can't leave. So if you want to be a Christian, if you want to, still be there as a child of God, you have pastors, ministers telling you that you can't leave your marriage. You've been married, it was for better, for worse. And that make people to stay. So people stay because of religious reasons. And sometimes when you leave your home or you leave your partner, people see you in the church circle as not being born again enough, or not being tongue speaking or fireful Christian. So that kind of compels some people to stay. And sometimes it could be, as a victim, nobody will even believe you. They blame you even before they hear your story. Especially if it's a woman, they just feel that everything, it's on you. You caused it. But if you're looking at where we are in the Western world, why do people stay? Most times, these victims, if they are dependent on their husband, so they can't leave because he holds everything. He's got their papers, he's got their immigration status, so they can't leave. And sometimes language barrier as well. If you can't speak English and for somebody to understand you, then you wouldn't want to leave, even when you know that the situation is not good. And it could be as a result of not having where to go as well. So there are a lot of reasons why people stay. And some people stay for their children. They say, you know what, I've got a child, I've got children. Why do I want to leave? I just stay there. And oftentimes they tell women as well, oh, if you've got a child, nobody's going to marry you. You know what I mean? So some people are like, so if I leave this man, like somebody was saying, a bird in hand is what is it, nine in the bush. And somebody's like, oh, why should I leave? I've gotten one already. Why do I want to like step out there even though I know it's not good? That just compels people to stay. I don't know. Thank you.
Wow. Being a pastor as well,
Welcome back.
and I'm raised in church. I think this is high time. It is high time for the body of Christ to really, really take
Welcome
action.
back. And again, my
It's sad that sometimes you have a leader, a deacon, a pastor, still comes, preach, tongue bashing, everything, but then the wife is being abused at home, vice versa. Maybe the woman, because now it's both parties, and the figures are equating as we speak. It's just that women come out a lot to speak about it. You have men going through as well. So today we are addressing both sex. Why are you still enduring? Your life is precious. And as we've looked at all the factors why people stay. So people stay for economic reasons, people stay for social reasons, for religious, for cultural, for all manners of reasons, people stay and as a result lose their lives. Not only that, many people end up in the mental home because your body can endure so much. We are appealing to our religious leaders. Help your member, help your congregation, or even you yourself. If you're going through this, it should not be endured. We are appealing to you. We are appealing to you. So we've mentioned, Lady Caroline have highlighted so many things to look for. So many things to look for. If you're experiencing abuse in your relationship, if this is a person that you really, really love, if that's a person that you really, really love, and you want to stay in that relationship, please, you need to seek help. You need to seek help. So, for example, the one she mentioned, sometimes even something like body shaming, you know, like body shaming. You've after you've been abused, then the person that makes you feel uncomfortable. Oh, look, nobody wants you anymore. You are fat. That's physical abuse. Physical, you have the physical that involves violence, But the person is telling you, oh, you are ugly. Nobody wants you anymore. You just stay and cope with me. That person is manipulating your brain. We should not be manipulated. Lady Caroline, if somebody is enduring this right now and they have been thinking as we speak, some people have been thinking, oh, I want to do something. I want to speak out. But how can I? Who will listen to me? Because one thing you mentioned, people don't speak because the victims become offenders. I remember a few months ago, I had another beautiful woman of God here on this platform, and she was mentioning how she was abused by their maid at a very young age. And when she told her parents, they told her to keep quiet. She was abused by her uncle. They told her to keep quiet. Even when they went to police, they could not believe her. Why are abuse? Why are the victims not believed? For goodness sake, why? It's like the case ends up on you. You're being accused that you're lying, or in this part of the world, they say you want money. I know some people have also abused the system, but why are victims libeled? And as a result, people don't want to speak because they feel like nobody is hearing them, nobody is listening to them. So, what can victims do? Now, we're going to deal with the victims first, and we will come to the offenders. What advice? We're only advising, but wow, it's going to take you. We are not in your shoe. It's going to take you who are going through that situation. How can someone seek help if they are spotting any of this? I know there are many ways of seeking help. How can someone seek help? Lady Caroline, over to you.
Well, you made mention of the victims not being believed, so the victims are being blamed. So, because of that, a lot of people don't want to like speak out. Then another thing, like I said, it brings shame to the family, isn't it? So, if you're making claim that you're being abused by your partner or somebody in the family, it's kind of shameful. And because of that, most people don't want to like speak out, But I just want to urge people out there, if you're going through an abuse, please speak out. You know what? You've got to speak out. Don't keep silent. Speaking out may just help you, it may save your life. Speak out, reach out to people. Most times when things happen in the family, we tend to want to cover it up. We tend to want to pray about it, especially if you are of the Christian faith where everything is being prayed about. You have people telling you, pray about it, you've got to pray, you pray him out of it. But I always tell people that bad character is bad character, You just can't pray bad character out. So that you need to, like I said, you need to like speak out, because when you speak out, and if you speak out on time, you see, you have interventions, you have people coming to help, you have people trying to like offer solution to your own unique situation. You know, when you speak out, it goes a long way. It just does so much for you. So what are the helps that are out there? There are a lot of help out there if you need help, but it's never easy. That I want you to know that it's never easy to like want to reach out to people and really say, you know what, this is what is going on in my marriage, in my relationship, in the family. You know, it's not easy. But when you reach out to people, you know, you just, it's just like one step of you getting solution. So there is domestic abuse helpline that is on the internet. Most of these support system are on the internet. You can look them up. So you've got the number there. When you go to domestic abuse helpline is there. You can also go to Women's Aid. Women's Aid, they deal with domestic abuse as well, so they too can help you. Then I think other, if you are in the Western world, different boroughs, different cities have got domestic violence in their different cities. So you would want to look up the one that is in your city, and you will have that. And there are other agencies. We've got the IDAS, we've got that is IDAS, so they deal with that as well. We've got the Samaritan. So if you look up any of these agencies and support groups I've mentioned, you find them on the internet, and they will be willing and they will help you. And also, if you were to be out with, you know, a partner that has suddenly, you know, start misbehaving or doing something that is inappropriate, there is always help at hotels and clubs where you can, you know, seek for this help. And if you need further help, of course, you can get in touch with the organizer, which is Pastor Flores. Then we'll be able to work something out. I don't know if that answers the question, ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Lady Carol and viewers. This is not against any sex. The only thing is, the percentage is higher when it comes to the sex that is being abused. So men are also going through abuse, domestic, physical, abuse. So, but the rates are high. If you go on the news, you can tell it's mostly women. Again, we say men don't come out to speak. So, the numbers are going up as well when it comes to the men. But please, you should not be enduring this. We have to love ourselves. Loving yourself does not make you a selfish person. You love someone, but they need to love you. How do they love you? By valuing you, valuing your body. Come on. The Bible says that, for example, husbands should look after their wives like Christ did for the church. Say, wash the woman's body, vice versa. So we need to love ourselves. We cannot afford to allow, we cannot allow we cannot allow ourselves to be violated, because what tends to happen, it affects you. It affects your work life. It affects your relationship with people. What are some of the effects if somebody is actually, thank you. Now, maybe I'm a friend with someone, Lady Caroline. How can I spot? Because somebody can come out with makeup, they are looking good and everything. Boy, oh boy, they've been abused just hours before they left house, but they still managed to put themselves together and go out, went to party, went and mingle with their friends. Say, okay, let me go and have some fresh air. As a friend or as a sister, as a loved one, even maybe your colleague at work, just like when we look out for the safeguarding of our children, how can we look out for others around us? Because number one is to look out, number two is to even have the boldness to say, are you okay? Is there anything bothering you? But how can we spot that? What are the signs we should look for to know that somebody around us is going through that? And how can we help and support them?
Thank you very much for that question. I think it's really important that we know how to spot it and how to help others as well, because we are like a community. If we look out for each other, it goes a long way. And in my work as clarity empowerment coach, oftentimes I hear women saying that they can't trust themselves. So there's this kind of distrust amongst women. And sometimes, when you're trying to like help somebody out, usually in some cases, it may be taken the other way. And you find somebody saying, oh, you don't want my progress and things like that. But if you see somebody, like I said earlier, with the physical abuse, it's so easy to spot, because when you see your friend with black eye today and she said, oh, I had a fall, then tomorrow you see a swollen cheek, oh, and she gives you another excuse, then you begin to want to watch closely, isn't it? So you find some mark on a body or on a leg, or that is easier to spot. But when we are talking about the sexual, the psychological, it that becomes a little bit difficult, because we have this habit of masking things. She may come out, like you said, well makeup, looking bubbly, even though the menu may be like kind of depressed. She could be quiet, overly quiet than she used to be. She could be absent minded, she's with you, but you could sense that whatever conversation you're bringing up, she's not really flowing. Then in other cases, she may not even want to like hang out with you. So if you've got a friend that usually would have hung out with you, suddenly saying, you know what, I don't want to go out today, this week, next month, and it becomes like a pattern of not wanting to associate, then you've got to know that something is wrong and you want to ask more. Because what abuse does, it brings down your self-esteem. So you don't even want to mix with others, because you have this sense of feeling worthless, feeling you can't do those things that you normally would have done. So it just, if you see somebody that is not eating well, not sleeping well, of course, when somebody is not sleeping well, that can be seen on the eyes as well. So you want to look out for those signs. So he's not sleeping well, he's not eating well, it's the person loses concentration easily, and just this kind of being very tired, or teary. And sometimes, before you start talking and the person is already crying, then you want to ask some more. And in financial, you find out that you have a friend that all the time he or she doesn't have money, or even though they are working, you should expect them to have like a pocket money or some money left over, but before the month is already finished, they've got nothing, always either in debt, always begging, always borrowing, and you kind of want to be like, I thought you're working, so how come, yours is different? So all these are kind of clue that you can use to spot when your friend or somebody, close to you is going through an abuse.
Wow, 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 wow. This is deep. Thank you, Lady Margaret. Pastor Martha says, tearful. Pastor Martha, thank you for your contributions. Pastor Martha says, victims might be withdrawn. Prophetess Jane said, hidden scars that no one can see up. I know, woman of God, that's a topic that you've dealt with in depthly. Prophetess Jane, hidden scar. What's your hidden scar, viewers? I want to apologize if we are triggering some of your scars today, because as we speak, we know that some of you have come out and you have healed, you are progressing, So we want as many people who are going through this. It's their time, it's your time to come out. It's your time to come out. And you know, they are professional counselors. They are relationship counselors. They are, anonymous people that you can talk to. They don't even know you. If you really love that relationship and it is going through hell, the best way is to find a safe place and seek help. Nobody is saying leave the person forever. No, that's not what we are saying. Nobody is saying leave the person forever. And Lady Caroline, I know you shared one story, which is recent. This beautiful lady that was running after her husband and she lost her life. What other such stories have you had before, or you've dealt with? Because I know we are not naming names, but this is common and we're living with it. Just one or two.
Yeah. You know, I've got this lady that she's married, but the husband does not like want to like help at home. If we are looking at the hierarchy of things, the way God created things, He made the man, no doubt, to be the head, to be in charge. And He gave man that duty to be the one to tend the garden, which was simply like is recorded in Genesis, which was like you've got to be employed, you've got to, be able to work, because for God giving Adam that garden, it was work. But she is married to this man that doesn't want to work or thinks that no job is suitable for him. And I have this lady, she's the one doing all the work. I mean, she works morning, like 3 4 jobs, and she's tired. But she can't like speak out, but when she's with me, she kind of say, oh, she's tired, she wish she was working and all that. So you can see that already there is problem there, but she can't leave because of, oh, what will people say? And like you said, leaving is a personal choice. Nobody can ask you to leave your relationship. What the Bible only stipulates in First Corinthians, I think, is either 7 or thereabout. He said you could have a period of separation. You can separate where each of you go back to think, is this working? Is this what I want? Can there be a way forward? Can we get a counselor? What other things can we do? Can we now look at our own self and try to be broken? Because when you're broken, then you won't be doing the things you're doing to your partner or to your husband or to your wife. So you can have that period of separation, which you could come back again depending on your own peculiar situation. Because when we're talking about abuse, as much as we want to group them into physical, sexual, psychological, and the rest of them, each of us, our situations is different. So you look at what will work for your own family. If living completely will work for your family to save your life, by all means do it. But if you feel okay, we can, come back, then do it. But then again, you want to plan whatever you're doing. So if you're to leave, then you've got to have a plan. If you're staying as well, you've got to have a plan. And that is why we are here, so that to encourage one another that you're not alone. You can still thrive. My message is always for women that they can thrive. You can thrive in whatsoever situation you find yourself, but it has to do with you. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Wow, you can still thrive even in the midst of the horrible situation that you're going through emotionally, physically. But it just means you can thrive even better. But that situation is not helping you. There's no way you can thrive. There is no way you can thrive to the fullest with that burden hanging just naturally. When we have burdens hanging around us, hanging over us, we can't produce properly. So please, it's up to you. It is up to you. We love you so much. Anyone that is watching us today, as far as this can go, please stop enduring abuse. God did not, your maker did not send you to go and die in there. No, He has a plan for you. What will you say to him tomorrow? You stand before him in judgment. Say, you want to be like Eve? I'm like Adam. Say, oh, it's the wife that you gave me. When Eve would have actually made his decision over, when Adam would have actually made his decision over Eve's action, you know. I just wanted to read one or two comments. Mama C said, and this again, women, why are we talking about women? We cover up things a lot. We live in so much denial. A lot of things come back to us, the women. They say women must accept that something is wrong with their relationship. If there is, they should stop being in denial, acting as if the abuse did not happen, as if it will happen. It happens again because you're covering it over. The moment you sense it, deal with it. Deal with it. We should not endure it. We should not endure it. Then said that is so true because you can't fix what you cannot face. Are you ready to face and deal with that situation? I think we have said so much. I know the time is short. We've touched on every area. It's every day it's on the news. It's not a secret. Even if you're in Africa, I know things are not as open as, this part of Europe. But even here in Europe, so many people losing their lives, both men and women. You need to reconsider. If you're not seeking help, you need to reconsider your position in that relationship. Is it worth it? What am I doing here? Thank you so much, Lady Caroline. I just want us to look at some of the things that you do, just in case, so that viewers can actually contact and connect with you. Lady Caroline, you can find Lady Caroline. Lady Caroline, this is something that you do, the 90 days program. Just tell us a little bit about it. I just want to leave it there for our viewers to see.
Thank this is one of the things I do, a coaching program for 90 days, which is from pieces to peace. So, when you are in an abusive situation, you're in pieces, whether you like it or not, because you can't think straight, you can't act straight, so you're in pieces. And can I just tell women out there that when you are in an abusive situation and you've got children, the same children you say you're staying because of them, they are victim as well. Children are victim of domestic abuse as well, because when you go through it, you're going to transfer that aggression on them, and sometimes because they see you go through it, they begin to internalize it. That is why you have childhood trauma. So please, you will want to do something. If not for your sake, do it for the sake of your children, because they end up being very aggressive. They end up, becoming abusers themselves. So please, you will want to do something. So this program helps women to, it's a kind of reset. So it's called Uncloak Your Relationship Challenges. So it gives you a kind of reset, because there you will learn about the blueprint of a woman's secret weapon, how to spot an abusive relationship, which we've talked about. There you also learn how to be empowered as a woman. You can use your situation like a leverage to you, because it's not supposed to sink you. You're not supposed to die in it. You can use it as a leverage and you step up higher. So that is what I do. So quick step to know, for those that are single, quick step to know, is it the right man for you? Is she the right woman for you? And also to learn about how to, because I believe that this abuse we're talking about is from the root. If we target the root, which is our young boys, if we target our young boys, then when they grow up to become men, they won't be doing some of the things that their fathers did. So you also come and learn how to bring up your own sons in the way that when they grow up to become adult men, they won't become an abuser to any girl that they eventually marry. So yes, and how to resolve conflict in your marriage. And let me tell you, no marriage is free of conflict. We all go through conflict one way or the other, but how can you resolve those conflicts? You will get to learn that as well. And finally, you get to learn how to love yourself, have self-confidence for yourself. Because I tell you, people will only treat you the way you treat yourself. Thank you.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Wow. Ooh, I love that. People will only treat you the way you treat yourself. There is a parable in my language, and in the Pidgin language we speak in Sierra Leone, that how you spread your bed, that's how someone else will come and lay down on it. So we have to value ourselves. This is for both men and women. Please let us value ourselves, right? So let's quickly go over your other products as well. Bounce Back, that's your podcast program that you run. How often do you run these, and how can people connect with it? Just run us through quickly.
So sorry about that. So Bounce Back, it's my podcast. I started this during the COVID-19. It's a way of just encouraging everyone out there, not just women, to get up and do something for their for themselves. It's something I love very well. It's my passion to help people, help people get clarity, help people get up, help people become better individuals. So you can find out that on Anchor FM. It's also on iTunes, is on Spotify. So if you just look up Bounce Back and you look up Caroline Ekpeyon, definitely you get it. And it's audio, it's about 5 minutes, 8 minutes. So you can listen to it on your way to work. You can listen to it while you're walking in the kitchen. You can listen to it anywhere. And I've got great feedbacks and great testimonies. The music is very calm. You can listen to it before you sleep. It teaches you about some things you never even thought were important, like why you don't succeed, like don't keep silent, like how you can become self-destructive to yourself. So check it out and you'll be glad you did. Thank you.
Wow. And lastly, we want to talk about this book. Please, viewers, let us support. A lot of us are doing well in our various spheres of life. Let us support by getting this book. Get a copy of this book. Bless someone. Just bless a friend. You don't need to let them know that you know what they are going through. Just bless them with this book. Tell us briefly about this book, Bloom of the Woman.
Can I quickly say that bloom of the woman, most times when people see bloom of the woman, they feel, oh, it's a woman's book. Well, bloom of a woman is not a woman's book. It's a book that is for all the family. Buy it for your girl child, buy it for your boy child, for your husband or your wife. This book is a family book where everybody can read it. It's very easy. It's a easy to read book. You won't spend more than 1 or 2 days to finish the book. And why is the book important? This is a book because oftentimes, to be very honest, while growing up, I saw a lot of book, teaching women on what to do when they get married. And even before I got married, I read these books talking about, oh, how to be gentle, how to be loving, sexy, and all those things. But then there are no books, or very few books, that teach men how to be loving to their wife. And for me, that becomes a problem, because I feel that girl children are always taught, they are taught etiquette, how not to sit, how to cook, and so on. But boys are not. The boys are just given toy, they're given football, they're given gun. Nobody really like sits the boy child down and begin to teach them those things. So that is how come about this book, because I believe that if we all learn this thing from a tender age, then as we grow up, it becomes very useful. So it's a way for men to help their wife, because oftentimes I hear men saying, I don't understand women. One time she's so nice, at the other moment she's like, things like that. So when you read this book, you understand when a woman is moody. Why is she moody? you'll be able to discover that. You'll be able to discover what does the right man looks like, because if you don't even know what the right man looks like, you wouldn't know when a man is treating you wrongly. So you want to know what are the qualities I should look out for in a husband. That is for young people that are not yet married. You want to see these qualities. You also want to know, how do I resolve conflicts in my marriage if you're married? And if you're not married, you want to know, how can I even prevent conflict, or if one should arise, how can I solve it? So it's loaded. It's loaded. In fact, if I want to talk about this book, we'll be here all day. So I'm
Don't
going.
give it all.
All
Don't
right.
give it all. Go and buy the book. Please, viewers, go
Go
and
get a
buy
copy,
the
then
book.
you can enjoy it.
Go and buy the book. Why? You know what is amazing? You can only bloom by making the right choices. Not that life's challenges will not come. We all go through life's challenges and you still bloom through it. But boy, oh boy, marriage is one, relationship is one. If you are not in the right one, trust me, we are heading for doom. It's
Honestly.
very, very important. And I like the fact that because a lot of things are always targeted at girls, women, how to compose yourself, how to sit, how to dress, how to, which is fine. And you're so right. There is nothing out there for the men. It's very minimal. Again, it's sad that I am for men. I like to speak up for men as well. We have Lady Margaret here who advocates for single fathers, because it's like the men are, as a result of their nature, they don't come out, they don't speak, and society has been formed in a way that the men seem to be sidelined. So we here, we respect men. We want men to bloom as well. So men also need to learn some of these things. So we are appealing today to our men, appealing to our women. Have conversations, have conversation with your man, have conversation with your spouse, with your, you know let your relationship be healthy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Caroline. Wow, as you can see, viewers, she's loaded. She's so loaded. I just want to read our last set of comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Mama
me.
C said women should not use their children as a way of covering the abuse. Seek help. How many times have we said this? The power of repetition. Seek help. Protect yourself. Protect your children, because if you are not in a good state of mind, your children will suffer. And work on your boundaries, and also seek support. Work on your self esteem. Thank you, Minister Carol. Mr. Carol said, what a lovely book. Where can we get the book? We are coming to that. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you so much. So, how can we get the book? The book, I know for sure, Lady Caroline, the book is on Amazon, not so.
Yep, yep. Yes,
The
the
book
book
is
is
on
on
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, the book is on Amazon, and also you can connect with Lady Caroline. Let me just put on the full screen with all her details. You can connect with her on Instagram. That's the detail, at Caroline Ekpenion. Yes, on Twitter, you have Ekpenion at Karek81. And also, that's the handle for her podcast, anchor.fm/ Caroline Adebayo. Caroline is available. She has not told me, but I have seen her doing her talks on Zoom. She is excellent. This time today is not enough for us, but as you can see, she is well loaded. You can connect with her directly, viewers. You don't need to come to me. I don't need to know. If you don't want to connect with Lady Caroline, as you can see, she gave a whole list of other people that you can contact. You can go to Anonymous online. Please do not suffer this thing. Your life is precious. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. You are unique. Oh, yes. You got to love yourself. Don't let love put you down. Don't let love. That's not the definition of love. No, no. So please, we've come to just encourage and to uplift and to deliver someone today out of this situation. Please seek help. Make that decision today to do something about it. Lady Caroline, thank you very much for availing yourself today. And woo, wow, you are a blessing. You're a blessing to our communities, and well done for what you do in your community. Please just say one last thing to your viewers, and I will let you go.
Thank you so much, Pastor Floris, for having me. Viewers, it's been a lovely evening. As you can see, we've got so much to talk about. But I want you to remember you always have the right to be treated with respect and to make your own decisions. So do what is right for you. And if nobody has told you today, I love you, I believe in you and the unique power you have to become whatsoever you want to become. God bless you. Thank you, Pastor Floris.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming here today. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you so much, viewers, for your time tonight and for your contributions. Thank you, Mr. Carol, Professor Jane, Pastor Martha, everyone that is on here, Mama C, Lady Margaret. Thank you so much. Sister Love It, Sister Beverly. Where are all the men? These are some of the things we are talking about. Yeah, please, we are encouraging everybody, men and women, if you are guilty of this, whether you are an offender or a victim, please, and we got to protect our boys. We have to protect our girls. Just think about your actions. How is it affecting your child? You don't know the impact that that's going to have on them few years up the line. Why do we want to sow a seed, that's not going to produce a great harvest for them emotionally, financially? Let's not run away from the reality that our children are smarter than we think. One day they are going to tell us about the impact we left on them. So please, let us make this, is vital. Let us deal with this situation. If you are a victim, deal with this situation. Seek help. Don't die in there. That's not God's plan for your life. And if you are an offender, if you feel that's a result of what you yourself has gone through, that's why you are behaving, you're treating someone else like this, please seek help. Seek help. Go for rehab. Go into rehab. Do something about it. Right? Thank you so much, viewers. I pray that your week will be blessed. Your week will be fruitful. Thank you for watching us today. Thank you for being with us. Please do share this program and support this channel. Like and follow my Facebook page, Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. I'm also on YouTube. Please subscribe to this channel. And if it's been a blessing to you, you're more than welcome to support. I want to say thank you very, very much to all of you for all your support. We're coming to the end of this calendar year, and for all of you who have supported me, all the guests, everyone who has come here today, including Lady Caroline. Thank you so much. Next week, I have another powerful woman, and we are going to continue with this thing called abuse in another aspect. Well, thank you very much, viewers. You have a blessed week. Support a friend, support a loved one. I know sometimes it's challenging to poke your nose into someone's business. You're waiting for someone to come and tell you. But I pray that the Lord will give us wisdom to dig into someone else's business for their own good. It's not that we want to say anything bad about them. It's because we love and we care for them. So please, let's watch out for one another. Until then, we want to say bye bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, viewers. God bless you all, and bye bye.